everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Happy Monday. Yeah, 2025 is no joke, right? We thought 2024 was going to um, kind of go out like a lion, and 2025 is going to come in like a lamb. But I guess she said, you know what, I'm going to take off. I'm going to take over where 24 let off, because there's a lot of things going on this year. But the sun is sunning. I like it. Go ahead. I like the sun. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here and just do a little quick blog post. And let's start off with a vibe check. So, hand up. Put a finger down if you thought you were going to develop an allergy in 2025. Me either. Put a finger down if you have already developed a food allergy and it's not even the end of January and we just started 2025. That's going to be me. Yeah. New allergy was not on my bingo card for 2025, but here we are. And the crazy thing is, I don't even know what it is. So about 2 weeks ago, I start having it was almost like a hay fever allergy. You know, like when you're outside in springtime and you're around the ragweed and all of that, and you get the itchy eyes and the itchy ears, and you know immediately it's an allergy. Hello, you know immediately it's an allergy, and you know it's environmental allergy. And I'm like, okay, it's wintertime. It's cold as balls outside. Like, why am I feeling like it's springtime? And I'm in Ohio, so it's been cold. It has really been cold. We've been getting hit with a lot of snow. So there is no plant life anywhere in the state. So I'm thinking, okay, I work from home. I'm in the house a lot. Maybe I need to air this joint out. So cleaned my entire townhome, top to bottom, bleach in the bathroom, all the bathrooms, bleach in the kitchen, in case there's some mold somewhere, maybe there's some water damage or something. I don't know. I don't have carpet. I have laminate floors. So steam mopped all the floors, did all the things. Nothing. It actually got worse. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, okay, we have an allergy. It is not environmental. What is it? So I went through everything that I had in my cabinets. And listen, I am the type of person, I have a specific, have my regular food. Sometimes every once in a while I'll venture out into some new recipes, but for the most part, I eat the same things because it's safe. So I haven't eaten anything new. I eat a lot of fresh veg, soups, especially in the wintertime, things like that. So yeah, nothing new, but just in case, because there was an instance last year where my coffee creamer changed ingredients. So I went through, I checked the ketchup, the mustard, everything. I checked all the spices, the ingredients, everything, looking to see if anything changed, and nothing changed. I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? Maybe I have a cold. So this past weekend, I went to the urgent care. I couldn't get into my doctor. And $220 later, she said, yeah, you got an allergy. So I'm like, wow. Okay. So it is an allergy. What it is, I don't know. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. This is I had to pull Old Faith out, keep going, keep growing. This is my old food allergy journal that I had started way back, and I think in 2017. I've just kept it because there's some notes in here, and there's also some thoughts, some personal thoughts in here. So I'm like, you know what? Let's pull her back out and let's go to basics, and let's do a diet elimination thing. So Saturday I started. Now before I do, diet elimination to try to see, what's going on, I always do kind of like a detox where I drink water, I drink coffee. I gotta have coffee. My job wants me to have coffee. But I don't put any creamer in it, no sugar, which is kind of rough. But black coffee, and I drink, for food, I just do like a simple vegetable broth. and just kind of like give my system a break. Now, detoxing, I know people have said this before, but detoxing doesn't stop a reaction. But if you're trying to do an elimination diet, basically where you slowly introduce different foods into your diet to see what's bothering you, is basically what it is. You want to start off kind of fresh. Plus, I'm on antibiotics. Well, not antibiotics. My the urgent care gave me some drops for my eyes because that's like where the main thing is. She basically said, take some Benadryl and here's some drops for your eyes to help stop the inflammation, because my eyeballs weren't red, but I had these like a rash around my eyes. That's where we went to. I'm loving the sun on my face. Okay. So that's where we had gotten to. But to clear that up, that's what she told me to use. So while this is clearing up, and you can't see it because I got these big ass glasses on, but there is still some bumps, some tiny little bumps on both sides around the corners. So I want to let that do its job. Plus I'm taking Benadryl. In the meantime, I'm just going to drink some water and just do kind of like a very simple diet with no food. I'm going to do that for a couple days. I'm going to wait till this all clears up. And then I'm going to start reintroducing my normal foods into my diet. And I wanted to do this blog because, number one, I know I'm not the only person that this happens to, but, yeah, this is kind of rough. Now, in the grand scheme of things, of everything that is going on in the earth, me having a new food allergy or whatever allergy it is not a big deal. However, in the scheme of things as it pertains to my life, it is, Listen, I am not oblivious to all that's going on in the earth, in this country. And I'm not trying to compare my situation to it. But I think we need to recognize, number one, that we all have things going on, and it's okay to talk about those things. Even though there are people who have been devastated by fires, there are children who have been murdered and by war, there are whole countries being decimated and exploited, and entire people groups who are being oppressed and ostracized, and violence is running rampant, and hatred and racism and all this stuff is going on. And honestly, this stuff is not new to the earth. The fact that it's not new to the earth and we're still doing it is disturbing in and of itself. But that's not all that's going on, right? It's a lot. And somebody has said on I think it was Threads, they said, how do you stay informed without going batshit crazy? And it was a good question. It's like, how do you do that? How do you stay informed without going nuts with all the crazy? And my answer to that is to have your spaces where you focus on things in your immediate atmosphere. One of the things that I will not do in this blog is talk about politics and all the craziness that is going on. There's enough information out there. There's enough people talking about it. And I do talk about it, in different spaces, but not this space. This space is for something else. I want you to be able to come here and just see what's going on with my crazy little life, and maybe glean some information or maybe get some encouragement. But I'm not going to dog you down and berate you with more of what's already out there, because that's ridiculous. So yes, I am very conscious and aware of everything that's going on in the earth, and I'm aware that me having a new food allergy is basically nothing compared to what some people have going on. But for me, I'm allowed to have this space, and I'm allowed to have these feelings, and you are too. Right? We're all allowed to have our spaces where we can talk about things that just affect us directly. And, dealing with food allergies, living this lifestyle, number one, and I say it all the time, if you're following me or listening to this blog, I say it all the time. The how traumatic it was going through this whole situation. But and I'm gonna keep saying it because it was. And for me, it was. I have gotten over it to a degree. But things like this happen, and it kind of brings things back to remembrance. I mean, I have enough food allergies. I'm allergic to enough stuff. I don't want to be allergic to something else, right? Like, it took me a while to get to this place, and then to have something else pop up. It is so infuriating and frustrating. It's like, what the hell, you know? And it's also a little scary because I don't know if you felt this way, if you're someone who has allergies. Anytime you have a reaction, and you have to deal with it, you deal with it, but then the moving on part is the hard part, you know. Doing this entire food elimination diet, yeah. It's going to help me to figure out what's wrong, but I don't necessarily want to go through this. Like, you want to know what the allergy is, but you don't want to go through the process of figuring it out because the process is not going to be fun. Am I making sense? So I don't want to go through the process. I don't want to have to change my diet yet again. I don't want to have to spend more money. If you're somebody who's just now, you know, coming across this video or coming across me, my food allergies basically made me become a vegan or vegetarian. Vegetarian, not a vegan, but vegetarian, basically. You know, that lifestyle people choose. And the thing about choosing a vegetarian lifestyle or like a clean, holistic lifestyle, it's nothing wrong with it. But if you don't like it, or if something happens, you can always revert back. I can't revert back. So this entire lifestyle is something that I didn't choose. It's something that I have to accept. And I have accepted it as is for the last 10 years. And to introduce something else, it infuriates me and it kind of scares me because it's like, you know, what is it? What's next? What all do I have to deal with now? And then, you know, just the finances of it, the cost of it. God, allergen-free food is so expensive. A vegetarian diet is expensive. The medications, the treatments, I mean, it's all expensive, you know. So what now can I not have, and what do I have to replace it with, and how much is it going to cost? That's basically where I'm at right now. So, yeah, so if you're somebody who's dealing with that, hey, you are not alone. It is very infuriating, and scary. You know, the last time I had to do one of these elimination diets, I did the detox for like 4 days, and I was afraid to eat after that. Like, seriously. Sometimes after I have a reaction, I'm afraid to eat. I kind of go into a little bit of depression, and this anxiety builds up, and like, I don't want to eat anything, or I'll just eat one thing for like, I mean, one time I went like a month eating just potatoes. That was it. That's the only thing I felt safe eating. Drinking water, eating potatoes, and of course I had my coffee. That was it for a month, 3 weeks I did it. And it was so sad. It was a sad place. It was a scary place because everything, I would cook meals and I knew they were totally safe, but I was afraid to eat them. It was terrifying, and I in tears throwing food away because I just couldn't eat it. And it's a debilitating mental space to be in, and I don't want to be there. It's 2025. You know, I want to do something else. I have plans for other things. I do want to do new things, but not a new allergy, you know, come on. So I guess right now I'm just fighting with this. I'm fighting with this. Um, and I'm trying to find ways to get through this without going back to that scary place, because I don't want to get there again. So, um, yeah. So, next couple of days, no food, just straight liquid diet. I think until Wednesday, and then I'm gonna start slowly incorporating food back into my diet and see what triggers what. I kind of got an idea. I kind of idea of what it could be, and it's kind of coincidental and a little funny. I was talking to the doctor at the urgent care, and she had my medical records, because the urgent care was part of the hospital where my primary care goes. So my medical records are there, all my allergies and my previous conditions. And she said, you know what, you have asthma. I said, yes, I do. I was born with asthma. I had asthma all my life. And she said, did you know? She said, where do you buy your produce? And I told her. And she said, do you always go to the same place? Have you gone to any place new? And actually, I have. I went to a new grocery store about maybe like 2 weeks ago, at the recommendation of a friend. Because one of the things that's been an issue for me, if you're a vegetarian and you've been a vegetarian for a while, produce costs. It's been consistently, the prices has been consistently going up for years. Especially in the wintertime, it's always more expensive. In the summertime, a lot of the farmer markets, or, people have those side stands, which I love. You can get a lot of produce there at a good price, right? But the quality is really bad lately. Even at some of these farmers markets, man, the quality has been kind of bad. So a friend of mine said, hey, I go to this particular store. Why don't you try it out? Because, they have good quality produce. I'm like, all right. So it was about 2 weeks ago. And I went over there, and the produce looked really good. And here's the funny thing. And I don't know, maybe you guys noticed this, but it's almost like some of these grocery stores you go into, and it's like they have a magic light that makes all the produce look good. But then when you get it home, it's like brown, like it died in the car, and it's no good. You know what I mean? So that's what had been happening. So I went to this other store, and the produce looked really good, but I didn't buy a lot of it at that time, because I'm like, I'm not going to waste my money. And then eventually have to throw this mess away. So I bought a couple things, and it was okay. It did last a longer than the store that I usually go to. But the taste was still the same. If you know what fresh produce tastes like, you know that a lot of stuff that's sitting in a grocery store is not the same. You know what fresh versus something that's been out of the ground for a while, especially when it comes to greens. They're a little bit more bitter. So it didn't taste any better. It tasted like normal, grocery store produce. So I'm like, all right, so we'll go there. So I went back the next day, and I did some shopping. Well, not the next day. I think it was a couple days later. And I did some shopping and bought a bunch of produce. And I've been shopping there. And that's right around the time this craziness happened. But what the doctor was telling me, she was actually a nurse practitioner, really good. She was saying that she has asthma, and that she has to really, really wash her produce, because some of the pesticides can trigger either an asthmatic reaction, or sometimes she'll get a rash from it. And I've heard of that before. I have heard of people who have had reactions to some pesticides that was on food. But I wash my food really well. All my greens, I wash them like they're collard greens. And if you black, you know what I'm talking about. If you cook greens, collard greens, turnip greens, mustard greens, we clean them. So I do. I clean all of my fruits and vegetables very well. But over the weekend, I found that even though you clean them, there still can be some residue. So I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe that's it. I hope that's it. God, I really hope that's it. Because I do not want another allergy. I just don't. So, but like I said, it was funny because, all the situations, everything that was going on with, me throwing away a lot more food because of the quality of it. I was thinking about this spring starting an indoor garden. I live in this in a 2-bedroom townhouse, and I have a really tiny kitchen. Um, Actually, the cabinets you see behind me, that's all the storage I got. I have nothing else. So a tiny little kitchen, and I said, okay, we'll plan it out. But I didn't plan on doing it until like maybe March or April. But now with this coming up, I'm like, okay, maybe we can do it sooner. Um, why not? I mean, if this is the issue, it's already costing me a lot of money to purchase this stuff and end up throwing it away. There's already an issue there with freshness, with cost, and now potentially with, some pesticides that are on some of this. Why not go ahead and start an indoor garden? I tried an indoor garden before, but I never tried like hydroponics. I tried to grow basically like I do outside. In the summertime, I do have raised beds out there. And I get a nice little yield. This year, not so much this past year because it was so freaking hot in Ohio. A lot of things died. So, an indoor garden kind of makes sense. I don't know how much I can get into this space. Now you can see this back behind me. Let me show you the other side of my kitchen so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so here is my kitchen. Pretty small. Pretty small. Refrigerator, stove, sink. It's a really small kitchen. But what I was thinking is over here on this wall is taking these like shelves out of here. I just have like herbs and flowers and things there, and putting some shelves up here, and that way I can put the garden center in the middle, in the actual garden studio. It's about 4 feet high, so I can put it right there in the middle, and then I can have room over here in this area to do some additional plants. So yeah, that's it. It's pretty small. But I think I can do it. I ordered the garden studio. I know there's a lot of different like indoor garden things that you can get. But what I liked about the garden studio, number one, is the price because it was a cheaper one. But it's small, it's compact, and Garden has an app. I've never done hydroponic growing before. I have, like I said, done indoor gardening and it just didn't work out. I think I tried to grow indoors like I grow outdoors, and I ended up with a lot of fruit flies and like infestations. It was terrible. And I don't like bugs indoors. Bugs are fine outside. Stay outside. Inside, no. So, yeah, I think with hydroponics, you can have pests, but it won't be as bad as if you're using potting soil or a growing medium like that. So just because it's new, I just thought it would be a good product. So I purchased it. I actually bought it Thursday and it got here Saturday. So it was really quick. So that was cool. I'm going to Lowe's today. I'm gonna get some wood and some brackets. I'm gonna put some shelves up there and then, start organizing this. And I'm basically going to use the garden for my greens and stuff. I'm going to create a separate setup, hydroponic setup for, I want to do spaghetti squash and maybe some sugar baby watermelons. Those didn't do good outside last year. My tomatoes and peppers and my kale and my collard greens, they did good. But those did not. And the cucumbers did good last year. So, yeah, I really want to kind of like learn about how to do hydroponic growing so I can do this all year round. That's the goal. So I don't have to worry about, something like this happening. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. And I'll let you guys know. I'll let you go how it goes. I'll vlog it. I'll show some video. I know I haven't been doing that very well lately. And it's because I just do stuff. I'm not quick to pull out my camera, but creating something new, it gives you the inspiration to act differently. So, definitely as I go through it and do this, I'll show you. I'll also keep you guys posted on my elimination diet, the thing that I'm doing here. Now, let me say this. I'm going to do this totally different than what I normally do. Normally, with an elimination diet, you start off with the things that you know. Well, let me say, this is how I start off. So I always start off with like a detox, just clean out my system, right? And then I will start to slowly introduce foods that I know I'm not allergic to, or that I'm, confident that I'm not allergic to, and see how those go. And then if there's something that I suspect, I will introduce those foods later. And basically, for me, like I said, it will build up my confidence because I get this really big fear sometimes and anxiety over eating after I have a reaction sometimes. So just easing into it helps me out. That's normally what I would do. This time, I'm not doing that. I am going balls against the wall. I am going all in. So once this whole reaction clears up, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that store and I'm going to buy that produce. I'm going to wash it like I did last time and I'm going to try it. And I'm going to pray that I have a reaction. I prayed that that's what it is. Listen, with all the allergies that I have, I don't want another one. You know what I mean? I just don't want another one. I want to focus on something else this year. I don't want to have to create new, recipes and dinner ideas and oh my God. Like I don't want to do it. So I'm ripping off the Band-Aid. So I think I got 4 days on this medication. I think till Thursday. So Thursday, off the medication. I'm gonna go to the grocery store after work and I'm gonna try this the lettuce there and whatever the produce I got. I think I got lettuce. Yeah, it was all leafy greens. So I'm gonna try it. And if that's it, then that's it. And I just know not to go back to that store. And then, I am in the meantime going to kind of like do some research on, the types of pesticides that we have in our foods. Because again, like I said, for the most part, you shouldn't have a reaction to it. But I guess people who have sensitivities to certain things can have slight, reactions to it. So I will keep you guys posted. I will definitely tell you about that one. All right. So stay tuned. Yeah. In the meantime, have a great week, regardless of what's going on. And remember, stay informed, but don't let that stuff drive you crazy. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.